I decided, like the last video you guys seen with the Ranger, with the spools, the dually wides was not a good idea because it was just, first off, too much stress on this thing. Freaking, it did not like it. And it was slow, like a typical Ford freaking Ranger. It was slow. And I wanted to go fast like the Jeep did, the two-door with the spools on it. So what I've done here is I unbolted. All of them are unbolted. We're down to single wides now. We got about 48s by 30s. So everyone's like, oh, American Forces, 24 by 14s, 26 by 16s. I got my own Woody Specials, 48 by 34s. Rubber bands. We riding on rim, we ain't riding on no tire. But yeah, I got them off there. And I'm hoping this thing's gonna go faster and do a lot better than before. Oh, I also, back here, we gotta open the gas cap like I explained the last video. Gotta put gas in it. But anyways, I did right here where it blew apart. Oh, ignore that right there. I welded that right there to top and bottom leaf spring because someone, like you can see this side, if you get up in there, someone already tried rigging this thing together because it's already been broken once, I guess. So that's what happened, is that thing broke in the last video. And it had a reverse steering, but the reverse steering only worked for going left. If you tried to go right, that wasn't possible. It would do donuts though, which was pretty impressive. We're getting this thing fired up. We're gonna do a couple hot laps through the field to see if it makes a difference. Then we're taking it down by the pond and we're gonna get rowdy with it. So we picked up a few miles per hour, nothing too serious. I mean, it definitely steers a lot better and it goes better, but I mean, it ain't going fast as I'd like it to go. I mean, it gets to third gear, but when you get that thing in the third gear, actually, hold on. Gosh dang it. You gotta remember, Fast and Furious. Okay, so probably about the 14th gear in this thing, and it just starts looking real bad, like Fast and Furious. So, I mean, first and second, it's all right. It goes better than the four wides, but it is what it is. So now we're taking this thing down the pond and we're going to see what kind of party we can get into down there. That was not a good option. Why is it always in this spot?
I don't
this
know.
freaking spot every time something goes south. Like my fifth gen, I about freaking kissed that tree. This time, too far to the right, Randy. And now the freaking spool is just, it's clapped. This is just not good. This is a really bad predicament here. Because that wheel is not one to turn. And that one is jammed against there. Well, not too sure what we're gonna do now.
Few moments later.
right, so it turns out that the Ford Rangers are not as good as everyone claims. I went over there in that mud hole. Well, first off, we got to talk about the predicament up there. That was a disaster, just like the 5th gen. About lost the bed on the freaking 5th gen with the track tires. Well, it took us about probably 5 days, and we finally got the back of it lifted up and over. Well, I get in the vehicle, and I'm having him pull me with the tractor. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start this thing up, and then you're going to go ahead and pull me. Well, I started up with my foot on the clutch, because you have to have your foot on the clutch to do it. Nope, it was in gear. Goes forward, dies, the whole freaking rear end slides back into the tree, and then we're out there having another party, freaking trying to get this thing moved over. We finally get it moved over again. I get in it, and then he hooks it up and pulls me out. Well, then, I don't think I've ever seen a Ford Ranger move this fast with spools on it coming down that freaking hill. I thought I was dead. Holy crap! Oh my God. 0 brakes. No, this thing has no brakes. This thing is just, the alternator crapped itself. Ford's Rangers are not as good as everyone claims they are. They're freaking junk. This thing, literally, I'm about half tempted just getting that dozer over there and just freaking use this Ranger right here as a bridge to get over this mud hole, because this thing is freaking junk. Because I'm coming down that hill, no brakes, and I'm like, I told him to get on there first to get the video, and I'm like, all right, this thing's going kind of fast, and I only got it in first gear, and I figured it kind of lugged down because it's in 4 low. No, this thing high speed, and I was like, all right, the only option I have here is either I hit that bank over there, going mock Jesus and get knocked out, thrown through the freaking plexiglass window, or I throw this thing in reverse and start trying to ride the clutch. I went with option 2 and started riding the freaking clutch, and this thing's whoa, boom, boom, boom. Well, then it finally got down there to the point where it was moving so fast, I tried doing it, and the whole thing was about to blow apart. Rammed in reverse, and it stalled, and I grabbed the wheel and turned it, so I got out of that predicament without having to make an ER trip, because I really thought I was going to the ER. This thing, this is a sad scene for Ford owners. I mean, it really is. Ford Rangers, they claim they're the best, but the Jeep literally took this mud hole like it was nothing. I mean, it may have pulled the steering box out of the frame, but still, it drove home. Well, the last time when I was going about 100 miles an hour down that hill and the wheel fell off, it sat down here for literally 4 months, and I finally pulled it out. But yeah, this is just horrible. Horrible. I really don't know what to do about it. I think we should just leave it here, and it eventually sinks into the ground.
Like all the other vehicles.
Yeah. The tie rod's screwed up on it, as you can see. This tire's to the left and that tire's to the right. I don't know, I'm gonna get in this thing and see if I can get it out of here. I don't have faith in it because the clutch is not liking it and it ain't got enough gearing, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Dukes of Hazzard style, baby. Hey, I'm used to this. I own a tube chassis, and I gotta do this every time I get in the dang thing. Okay, this steering wheel is in the way though. Okay, I got myself in a weird position here. I need help. Oh, the blinkers. Ah! God. Holy crap. My leg just got pinned against that. And I didn't want my kneecap anyway. Definitely had it, but the freaking thing, it ain't got enough power. Smell that?
Little burnt clutch.
Yeah. It's staying here because it's junk. Ow, my leg! I don't know if it's because it's 4-cylinder, if the gearings are different in this. But I mean, it's a manual 4-speed. I got it in 4 low. It is not liking it. This clutch is just, I put a brand new clutch in this thing literally last week. It ain't liking it. It was so close. It came up, I don't know how the bumper, even the front of it, got up past that freaking, the mud hole right there. Because at the first part, when I first had it over there when we was talking about it, that bumper was dug into the freaking ground. And that thing somehow managed to just creep over it, and it gets over and it starts moving, and it said, nope. Didn't want to go nowhere anyways. I really think this thing had a 4.0 in it, the big 4.0, whatever the heck they call the Rangers. The 6-cylinder, it's not an inline 6 like a Jeep, like the XJs, but it's like a 6-cylinder, 3 on each side. I really think if it had that, I think it would have it. But this thing's just got the 2.340, and it ain't got enough sauce. It wants to, but it ain't. I think the plan is just leave it here forever, and yeah.